Infighting has disrupted 3 council sessions already in the Dibombari Council in the Mungu division of the Littoral region of Cameroon. The council is functioning for 2022 without a budget. A disgruntled fraction of councillors are asking the departure of the current mayor. They accused him of mismanaging council funds. Meantime, Cameroonians have been left divided in a fight opposing the mayor of Banka in the Opankam division of the West region of Cameroon and the chef chair, that is the divisional officers, while some think that it is the right of the divisional officer violated by the mayor. Others say the mayor was elected by the people. We shall be taking you to the fight opposing the mayor and the deal in the course of this newscast. You want to know that people are still crying, bleeding again in the conflict-stricken northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. This time around, a village in the Meme division, Ikiliwindi, in Mile 12, where at least 4 persons have been killed, several houses ravaged, reduced to nothing in a wildfire incident, and of course man-made. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting information on Equinoxe Television. We live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city. We thank you for making the right choice to be informed on your #1 television channel across Cameroon. We're beginning with images already on your screens. 4 persons who are said to have been killed and several others injured in the Kiliwindi Mile 12. That's a village in the Meme division of the southwest region of Cameroon, few meters from the Meme divisional chief town of Kumba. Local sources say that the persons were killed as the military launched a crackdown on a group of separatist fighters seen to be hiding in a Kiliwindi. It should be recovered before this unfortunate incident. Several persons were already killed in the locality, including security officials said to have been killed by separatists taking refuge in the Kiliwindi. It should be recovered. It is happening within the context of the armed conflict rocking the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The entire village or several houses in the village were reduced to nothing in the raid. The persons affected are also accused of either hiding or collaborating with separatist fighters refuging in now. That is taking refuge in a Kiliwindi. We shall be coming back to this particular information, ladies and gentlemen. We are showing subsequent editions of news on Equinoxe Television. Time for us to take our fighting, and in fighting, of course, that has so far disrupted 3 council sessions. That's in Dibombari Council in the Mungu division of the Littoral region of Cameroon. The Dibombari Council has to function without a budget for the year 2022. A section of the disgruntled councillors asking for the departure of the current mayor of Dibombari, accused of mismanaging council funds. We have details in the fight opposing councillors and mayor within Osenaze.
Another Dibombari Municipal Council session dives into a conflict. Opposing councillors, those supporting the current mayor and those for the first deputy mayor, are threatening to deal with each other. Since start of this year, the council has been operating without a defined budget.
Nous pensons vraiment qu'il n'y a pas de budget en 2022. On a demandé un conseil extraordinaire qui n'a pas été validé. Il y a trop de problèmes à la mairie de Dibombari. J'ai pensé un seul instant que les grands messieurs comme Jean-David Billet pouvaient mettre la paix. Malheureusement, ils n'ont pas vraiment le sens.
Dans ma way de mayor, you want put all people for them. You want put all arrondissement for them. Today na 3 times we consist for Mary pass or nothing, not there for worker for the Mary.
The faction of the first deputy mayor accused the current mayor of mismanagement of the council's annual budget.
Nous les conseillers, nous ne savons pas exactement ce qu'ils font avec le budget de la mairie de Dibombari. Le budget, il établit ce budget seul, il le valide seul, sans avis des conseillers et sans avis de ses collaborateurs. Donc ça veut dire les agents au maire. Et il le gère comme la cuisine interne de son père et sa mère.
Unable to work closely with his collaborators to realize envisaged projects, the opposing councillors and the population see him useless, demanding the mayor to leave, reason why the budget cannot be voted.
On ne devait même pas tout comme ça, les routes sont bafouillées, rien, on ne voit pas ce que l'argent fait.
Toutes les promesses qu'il a eu à faire, il n'y a rien. Il y a d'abord de l'eau, les routes, pour aller alimenter le village et tout. Rien n'est effectué. Si ce n'est que nous, qui ne doit même pas finir le mandat, qu'il arrête comme ça. C'est ce que nous, on veut présentement. On ne veut rien de lui.
Nous sommes fatigués.
The representative of the senior divisional officer counted 14 councillors against the voting of the budget, supported by 13. The civil administrator proceeded to order for the voting to hold.
Or, à sa qualité d'habitude, il devait être d'une très haute neutralité. Il a soutenu le maire et voilà pourquoi le conseil est en train de se dérouler. Malheureusement, ils sont au nombre de 16. Qui sont en train de tenir le conseil.
A disappointing action of the senior divisional officer's representative to the first deputy mayor, with majority votes against the voting of the budget.
L'arbitrage n'a pas été vraiment infructueux.
The opposing councillors and population deplore the created conflict and what they qualify as order of arrest of opposition councillors for the mayor's faction to continue the session and vote the 2022 budget.
Sans mandat d'arrêt. Et il a l'habitude d'enfermer les conseillers. Moi-même, j'en fais partie.
Vraiment, ça nous étonne. Une grande mairie comme notre mairie.
Efforts by Equinoxe Television to get the reaction of the current mayor yielded no fruit. However, the first deputy mayor demands the Citizen Central Committee to look into the prevailing chaotic situation in the Bombari Council and restore peace.
While councillors of the Bombari are divided between the mayor and the second deputy mayor, Cameroonians are also divided between supporting the mayor of Banka and supporting the divisional officer for the administrative unit, a fight that has been qualified by most persons as a clash of competence, interest and show of strength between the duo and the mayor of parts of the Opankam division in the west region of Cameroon. Images that have gone viral on social media show the camp supporting the mayor and that of the divisional officer fighting in a football pitch in Banka. The mayor, according to the voices on the images, says the divisional officer and his camp are determined to frustrate a footballing competition he has organized for his people, the people he say elected him, and he has the power to do so within the context of the law on decentralization of Cameroon. He sees attempts by the divisional officer to get him work as he wants, as that is an abuse of power. It took the intervention of some security officials for calm to reign. The mayor on his part says that he is determined to defend the interests of the people that elected him as mayor of Bankam over that of the official he qualified as appointed. He says he, as the municipal magistrate of the area, must do so. And many Cameroonians are divided at a time when calls are multiplying for advanced decentralization. Many say scenes like the one in Banka in the open camp of the west region of Cameroon risk multiplying if there is no clear definition of what who and what to do what between the elected officials and appointed officials, notably the mayor's divisional officers. The mayor of Banka on his part says that he's gotten the authorization to go ahead with the competition from the senior divisional officer of the Open Camp division as superior administrative officer to the duo who on his part wants the competition to be authorized by his office. We shall be coming back to it subsequently. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not leaving the west region of Cameroon. We're moving a few kilometers from the Open Camp division to the Menua division. But we're not staying in the Menua divisional headquarters of Chang. We're taking you to Sancho subdivision, where the people say they suffer enormously as a result of the very deplorable state of the main road that links several villages of Sancho subdivision. Farmers say that getting their crops from the farms to the market is a veritable nightmare. We have details with Lucy Leonge is here in the following reports.
This This is the main stretch linking major localities of Sanchu subdivision, Menua division of the West region of Cameroon. The population say the road has been in a deplorable situation for the past years. They even think that it has been forgotten as part of local development. Petty traders who tried using this stretch face a lot of difficulties, mostly as it rains. Since the day I left my house, I'm still here till now due to the bad state of the road. We don't even know when we will reach home with our goods. Because we left Changsis 5:30 yesterday, we don't know what to do. It's our village and we cannot abandon it. When it rains, we sometimes walk by foot to reach town. It is about 22 kilometers. A challenging situation for the inhabitants who find it difficult to harvest and evacuate their crops as they face an unbearable increase in transportation fare. The little goods I bought yesterday, I was asked to pay 25,000 francs, of which I don't even know if I will sell and regain my money. Romaric is a clando driver who uses stretch, but due to the degrading state, his car has always been visiting the garage. We are faced with a lot of challenges. The worst was yesterday, as my car couldn't go through. I was forced to go back home, rest before coming back. I wonder how and when we will reach Chang. As a result, most clando drivers using this stretch ride alongside some boys who can aid them in case of any breakdown. A bike rider lost his passenger because of these conditions. I had a tire failure, so I had to transfer the client I had to another bike. So I'm going back now to Fondonera to repair it before going to Chang. The occupants say the bad road has exposed them to a couple of security challenges, like terrorist attack, as the military finds it difficult to go through. So they call on the government to see into their problem.
It's Lucy Leung for on that report regarding the very bad state of the roads in Sancho subdivision of the Menua and the West region of Cameroon. What will take you from the west to the south region of Cameroon, where an ex-military captain in San Malema, that's in the Jan Lobo division of the west of the south region of Cameroon, pastor has been nabbed by security officials. The pastor is being accused of banditry and also keeping criminals. Members of the church where he served as pastor have gathered to say that they dissociate themselves from the activities, the night activities of the daytime man of God. Glory Mala will be coming to that report in subsequent editions of news on Equinoxe television. Time for us to take you from the south region to the central region of Cameroon, precisely to the Nyong-Ankele division, where inhabitants of Nyong-Ankele say that they risk going into dangers with an individual who is attempting, with the support of local administrators, to rob them of some 17 hectares of land. The land they say rightfully belong to them, but the individual wants to take this land with the complicity, as I indicated, of senior administrative officials of the Nyong-Ankele. We have details with Lucy Liongo Esie once again.
Ekele division, the population of Mankora complain of maltreatment in their own village. Some of their lands have been seized and plantations lost. One morning, my brothers called telling me a certain man then presented to them a situation, letting them know that he has a land title number 812, folio 4480. I then came to the village and I was presented a direct convocation sent from Ezeka. Since then, this man has been threatening us. We call on the President of the Republic to help us nullify this fake land title, because it is a bomb that Mr. Manden has put at the capital's entrance. This is a community of about 300 people that he is trying to send to prison, and after he sends them, what will become of us? Won't they become separatists? To the occupants, the agreement between Mr. Mandem and some administrative authorities was illegal. So to them, the former is violating and going against the law. In October 2021, the family sent a letter to the Minister of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure because of the convocation we received from Mr. Mandem. This is a complaint I have here. We presented it last week Monday. The cadastral of Ezeka with some members of the court were here, but still we don't understand what is happening. Inhabitants of Mankora look up to the government for the end of crisis, while the accused has refused to show up.
And we stay in the central region of Cameroon, yes, going to the central regional headquarters of Yaoundé to talk about a note with regards to the baccalaureate examination of the French Subsystem of Education Baccalaureate General, which reportedly is out. That is, the results are out, and according to information released by public institutions, the results will be read over the national radio. Reportedly, the central regional results will be read on that is on FM 88.8 and that of the southwest region of Cameroon on 85, as well as the littoral region 89.2 FM and the east region. And of course, the results will be read later today according to information so far gotten, and it should be recovered. The results have been released after a long period, an overdue period, where candidates became worried already with regards to the released results of the Baccalaureate General examination. And of course, we are close on the results. We shall be coming back to the statistics subsequently. We're going to stay in education to say that internally displaced kids and underprivileged kids of Mwandong, that in the Mungo division of the littoral region of Cameroon, have also had their spirit for back to school boosted in a way by officials who brought them together. Those unfortunate, underprivileged and internally displaced who are brought together at government school Mwandong in the Mungo division of the littoral region of Cameroon to have their morals boosted as they prepare to get back to school, and to also be given the hope that they can go back to school again, and also be taught and encouraged, and sending the message directly from kids to get it to their parents, and from parents who are present to see the necessity of having their kids go to school despite their challenges financially and others affected psychologically, who've been forced out of their different localities to Mwandong in the Mungo division. And of course, they were encouraged by Affe Duke, and who brought them together, and using the occasion, a son of the area, Mr. Leonard Ekwele of Affe Duke, said that education has, however, remains a key tool that will also help others even at the end of the challenges faced by those who are forced from their different localities to Mwandong in the Mungo of the littoral region of Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with education. We're not going to be talking sport. The Cup of Cameroon quarterfinals results. It should be recalled that matches were being played today in stadiums across the center, west, littoral, and the southwest region of Cameroon. Results so far presents as follows as far as what was recorded in stadiums across Cameroon. It should be recovered that was the quarterfinal stage of the Cup of Cameroon, and results so far gotten by our news desk indicate that Couton Sport of Garwa had a better side of RS Fortuna, edging RS Fortuna 1-0. Gazelle FC gave Bamutus Football Club of Buda 2-0. That is a 2-0 spanking. Meantime, Union Sport of Douala had a 0-0 tie with Aigle Royal of the Mungo division, and lastly, Avion FC of Dinkam had a better side of Renaissance Football Club of the Ngumo, having 1 as opposed to 0 for Renaissance of Ngomo. Sports out of Cameroon, we're going to be talking the Commonwealth game, where over 500,000 athletes will begin participating at the Commonwealth game that begins today in Birmingham, that is in England. Amongst the participants is Cameroon's delegation made up of 63 athletes. The Cameroonian delegation will be hoping to get more medals than they did in Gold Coast, Australia in 2018. Smart Jikangebe tells us more in the following report.
The Commonwealth Game is an annual international multi-sport event involving all athletes from the Commonwealth of Nations, located in West Midlands of England, about 463 kilometers to northwest London. Birmingham is the host city for the 2022 edition. As a member country of the Commonwealth, Cameroon was already present in Birmingham. Before the official opening ceremony, the delegation of Cameroon to the 2022 edition of the Commonwealth Games is made up of 63 persons, including 37 athletes, 16 coaches, 5 medical staff, and 5 team managers. Cameroon is expected to participate in 10 disciplines: athletics, para-athletics for physically disabled, badminton, boxing, judo, powerlifting, swimming, table tennis, weightlifting, and wrestling. In the last Commonwealth Games at Gold Coast, Australia in 2018, out of the 71 participating countries, Cameroon came back with just 3 medals, 1 silver and 2 bronze. The Queen's relay baton touched down at the host city, Birmingham, this Wednesday, with the Queen's message to be read by the Prince of Wales during the opening ceremony. A total of 5,054 athletes will be part of this year's edition, which starts July 28 to end in August 8, 2022.
And we'll come back to rectifying the scores of the quarterfinal match of the Cup of Cameroon. The matches of the Cup of Cameroon played today across Cameroon according to scores, latest scores forwarded to us by Smart Jikangeba Sportsman. The match between Gazelle FC, a football association, that is Gazelle FA, and Bambutus of Buddha ended in a 2-all tie, that is 2 for Gazelle and 2 for Bambutus of Buddha, on an aggregate of 1-3 in favor of Bambutus of Buddha. That of AS Fortuna opposing Cotonsport of Gawa, 1-0 in favor of Cotonsport of Gawa. And Aigle of the Mungo division with Union of Douala ended in a 0-all tie, having an aggregate of 12 for Union of Douala and 11 for Aigle of the Mungo division. Meantime, Avion FC had a better side of Renaissance of Ngomo. Now, the semi-finals classifications or fixing are as follows. Union or Avion FC of Dinkam will be facing Bambutus FC of Buddha, while Union Sportive of Douala will be taking on Cotonsport of Garwa. That is the result so far gotten from the quarterfinals to the semi-finals. And I will continue on sport to say that the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has instructed the country's Minister of Finance and the President of the South African Football Federation to ensure that the female players of the Bayanas get equal package as to what is usually given to the men's national team, the Bafanas. It came after their brilliant victory at the just ended Female Africa Cup of Nations in the northern African country of Morocco. Cyril Ramaphosa made this statement while receiving the players of the Bayanas, as Smart Jikangebe tells us in the following report.
The victory of South Africa at the 13th edition of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations is still savored by the people of the Rainbow Nation. The latest is the President of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, who was himself present to welcome the Queens. It was a triumphant entry that was given to the Bayana Queens at the Union's house. South Africa's president used the occasion to say that the payment that will be given to the newly crowned champions must be commensurate.
We must demonstrate our appreciation for you with regard to the pay that you should get. And of course, everyone in the country does support that you should be given a token, not even a token of recognition. You should be given what you deserve. And what do you deserve? Danny Jordan, we cannot continue supporting the notion that when Bafana plays, they get much more than what Banyana get. There has to be equality. I have been very strong in arguing that unequal pay is unfair, is unjust, and it must come to an end.
Cyril Ramaphosa adds that the victory of South Africa won't be the first and it won't be the last, and he is expecting that the same side will make the continent proud during the Women's FIFA World Cup, that South Africa will be part of it as African champions. After receiving the trophy, all players and officials were handed certificates of appreciation for their exploit in Morocco. Before visiting the union's house, Bayana Queens dined with their fans with the trophy.
That's where we put an end to the 6 p.m. edition of news. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a complete package, still with interesting programs on Equinoxe. Equinoxe Soir will be coming from Yaoundé to you in a few minutes, and a phone newscast in the French language will come up at 8 p.m. still from Yaoundé. I'm going to be back tomorrow, Friday at 6 p.m. We'll link French edition of news in English language. It's only on Equinoxe. You get investigated information. Stay blessed, God willing.